Hello. Welcome to anybody who's joined us on replay. I'll just wait a few moments for people to populate the live stream. Just fiddle about with this and that. I hope you can hear me. If anybody is popping on to the live broadcast, then just drop me a little yes, I can hear you. I've set up my own phone here. Let's just see if I can use this as a monitor. Oh, look at that. Okay, that all seems to be working fine. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Super cool. I can hear me. I've set up my own phone as a monitor because sometimes I'm going for these live broadcasts and I don't read the comments. I get into what I'm saying and then people are like, we can't hear you. What I do notice when I've got this microphone on, it's much clearer for you, but you can hear me drinking my coffee, so excuse me a minute. Seems only polite, really. Okay, so I don't know if the description's come up for this video. I'll certainly put it on later if it hasn't. We're going to have a discussion today, I hope. And the discussion is going to be about relaxed riding. Sorry, I've got some ducks going on in the background. It's about relaxed riding. Relaxed riding has come up a lot lately just by coincidence. I'm going to cover a different subject first. Well, it's still about relaxed riding. So I made a video just to emphasize the point about the videos that I was making last week. And hi, Sasha. Sasha's drinking your coffee too. Marvellous. So don't relax in order to get the horse to relax when the horse is feeling that maybe it's in a spooky situation. You're in Pheasant Alley or, sometimes they just go out and they just want to spook, don't they? They just go out and they're just hunting around for something to spook at. And people think that when they relax, the horse relaxes. But of course the horse isn't going to relax because it thinks it's in a situation. And if it was in a situation, if it was going through the woods and behind... Oh, it's echoing funny in my ears here. Let me just move those. If it was going in the woods and behind every tree and bush was a lions and tigers and bears, it wouldn't want to relax. So however much you relax... Really? Shut up! This is my life here, you know. And you. So, if you relax, you disappear from the situation and the horse has to deal with the lions and tigers and bears. I made a video stating... In fact, yeah, let's see if I can show it. Let's see if I can show this video. Right, okay. Oh, here it is. Look, watch this. Watch this.
Hello and welcome to Tales of the Unknown, the case of the disappearing rider. You know the scenario, you're going out with your horse, it's a bit spooky, it's a bit worried about pheasants.
What if a pheasant
and such
jumps
like.
out?
Your imagination starts to take over.
What if a loose dog comes round the corner? What if the horse...
Stop worrying about the horse and you started worrying about your own worries. It was the horse that was spooky to start off with, and then your worries, because you focus on them, you get more and more and more until you're getting overwhelmed.
Quit your worrying. I am Ivophobia from Empathy Rider Confidence Coaching. I know how you feel. Now look, see your horse's ears? See his eyes? He's questioning, isn't he? He wants to know what to do. He needs to know what to do. Don't pig and tell him. Think about yourself. You're the one that wants to feel better. You're going to feel better.
If you think about
Take
yourself,
a deep breath. Don't worry
you're
about
going
anything
to ignore
else.
the horse
And just think
altogether.
about little
That's not a good
clouds,
thing. You're just
little
abandoning it
That's
to your
right,
fate
that's right.
with your
Deep breath,
special
little fluffy
breathing
clouds.
and your special techniques to calm yourself down, and you're literally taking your way out of the situation and just leaving your horse. You might feel better, but you might as well not be there at all. It's alright for you. You're thinking about yourself. It's not about you. It's about what your horse needs. how's this horse now?
Is it just me or am I all on my own again? Is it just me or am I
Don't
all
disappear the moment that your horse needs you.
You ring the Vatican, and I'm in Flying Man. And it feels like the end.
Oh, did you have a nice time? I was a bit worried, but nothing happened.
There we are. There's a little video I made to make a point that if you try to relax when your horse is feeling spooky, you're just disappearing from the situation. So, we had someone come into the Rider Confidence who was new to riding horses. So, I should do some housekeeping first. If you want to find out the details of the day course Rider Confidence, then you go on to Horseback Combat, which is the website for the Centre of Horseback Combat, my stables here, and follow the Rider Confidence, horsebackcombat.co.uk, and follow the Rider Confidence tab, and then you'll find out the dates that we're available and how to book and all that. Oh, and I also need to say, if anyone's interested in joining the September intake of the online 3-month study at home Ultimate Rider Confidence course, then I'll put the link somewhere around this video and take a look at that. So we're at the live 1-day Rider Confidence course, and a new rider, a novice rider, was saying how much they wanted to be on this relaxed ride, and that was their dream. To be relaxed ride, going through the woods, maybe going off up the downs. We've got Dunstable Downs near us, going across the fields, lovely and relaxed. This is a nice way of riding horses. And sometimes when I put up, what is your goal, what is your dream, I have people saying, oh, I want to go be a stockman in Australia, or I want to win the Silver Spur. But I also get people saying, I've got no particular goals, I just want to have a nice relaxed time riding out on my horse. See, the thing is to have a relaxed time riding out on your horse. I can see what you mean, but I believe that that's quite an advanced goal. And I believe that the people saying to me, Karl, I haven't really got much goals, I just want a relaxed time on your horse, seem to be under the impression that going out riding a relaxed hack just at a walk is a low level goal. I've got to say that I think it's a high level goal. I think it's a very high level goal, actually. So think about how we are when we learn to ride horses. Let's say that learning to walk on a horse, let's say that's about level 50. So you've got to learn 50 different skills before you get to that stage, starting from nothing. So level 1 to 10 would be getting over, when you first see a horse, you're like, oh, bloody hell, that's big. And then you're a bit scared to go into the stable, and you're a bit scared, can I touch it, and all that. So you've got to get these skills, and then you do go into the stable and maybe pick out a foot. That's another skill, and being brave enough or trained enough to touch it and lead it around and put a head collar on. I mean, you've already done a lot of skills. I'd say that was like level 1 to 10. From 10 to 50 would be all the skills that you learn when you first get on your horse in the arena. So you've got to learn how to tack up, you've got to learn how to fit a bridle, you've got to learn the principles of riding, you've got to learn how to mount up, you've got to learn how everything works, how to take a contact, how to ask the horse to move forward. You've got your own nerves to get over. All of these are skill level. So you've probably learned, I reckon, 50 things before you're walking in the arena as a novice. Now, I can see how you would think, if I can walk in the arena, then surely it's only a few jumps to this lovely relaxed ride going up the downs, through the woods, across the fields, because I only want to go at a walk. I get that. But I would say that the next jump you're looking at, your next goal, is not riding relaxed at a walk through the woods, through the fields, but it would be riding attentively, with a contact, dynamically, being a driver rather than a passenger. So you've got to get all that together in the arena and then transfer those skills, being attentive, out on a walk, on a hack out. So really, walking attentively is somewhere between level 50 and 100, because you've got to have everything that you've learnt in the arena, then transfer it outside to where things happen. Of course they happen. The tree branch falls, the dog barks or whatever. You've got to be on the ball enough to tell your horse, yes, this is fine, and we've got to go forwards to reassure the horse that this is fine. You've got to keep your contact when you're feeling nervous. It's a skill in itself to not suddenly get really tight on the reins. So in terms of a contact, when I teach riding, I always say, imagine that you're at a disco. You can't hear anything, and you're just guiding someone around by pulling the jumper. Yeah. Now, if you can't speak to them, but you're just like, come on, let's go over here. That's what a contact should be. Just a little pull. It's like, over here. Don't go in the dodgy corner, the dodgy corner of the nightclub, and you're just pulling here. If the person insists on kind of like, oh, they look great over there to the dodgy corner, you might pull a little bit harder. But that's what a contact is. It's just a constant line. I've got you. I've got you. I've got you, and you just be guided around. It's not in a war. And for that matter, it's the same with your legs on the ribs. You could be behind someone guiding them from the ribs, and it's like push, 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 push. It's not. It's signals. Move over. Or turn this way, or turn that way. So that's how I regard a contact. So when you get nervous, we don't want to be suddenly pulling on this t-shirt really, really badly. You've got to maintain your contact, which is a skill in itself. So that's fair enough. So this is why walking out attentively on a contact with the right amount of support from your legs in the woods where things bark and rustle and crack and such like, you can see that's really quite advanced now. That's really quite advanced. So you've got quite a few hours in the arena learning about your contact, your bend, what your legs do, how to reassure the horse, how to signal the horse go and stop, even if it's just a walk. So that's now level 100. That's reasonably advanced or intermediate, shall we say, maybe. To then ride out through the woods and across the downs and across the moors in a relaxed fashion, well, now the dream is to be utterly relaxed, floating along with your horse on the buckle. I get that. So surely the next thing, after being able to walk, then be able to walk out attentively, looking after the horse, then let's try just easing off that contact. If this is your dream, this is your goal, to just ride, relax, you're going to ease off that contact. Now, when you're easing off the contact and the horse is slopping along on its own, which is your dream, that's what you want to do, I can get that, you've got to be sufficiently experienced that when the thing cracks, when the branch breaks, or when the dog barks, or when the surprise happens, it would be perfectly reasonable for a horse, being a prey animal, to spook, jump forward a few few strides, even a good horse, like a few strides of canter, because remember, you're not on it, you're not driving it now, you're passenger in. So you've eased off the contact, and we have the possibility that the horse will plunge forward, do a few steps of canter, a few steps of trot, and then you got it back under control. That's not that unreasonable. So you need those skills. You need those skills. You need to know what a canter feels like, know what a trot feels like, know what stand to canter feels like. So if you want to go there, then you've got to get into the arena, because you don't want your first and only stand to canter to be at that moment when you haven't practiced it before. So we need our transition. Well, now we've got another year in the arena, haven't we? Practicing our transitions, so that if that happens, we're in control. We're not surprised. We're experiencing this kind of thing. I'm going to go to an analogy now. So if you just learn to ride in the arena and think you're immediately going to transfer it to being relaxed out in the fields or in the woods, that's like learning to drive in your cul-de-sac, you know, when we were kangarooing down the road and learning how a car goes. And you get up to 30 miles. Remember when 30 miles an hour seemed fast? Oh, there you go. And 39 and 40 miles an hour seemed absolutely incredibly fast. So let's say, yeah, all right, we're good. We can do first and second gear. We can get up to 30 miles. And then when you approach the first junction out of the cul-de-sac, you're suddenly desperately trying to remember, what do I do? What do I do? What does the clutch? What does the gear? Tra-la-la-la. Now, if you'd done that, this is the analogy. If you'd done that and then they took you off and said, right, you're going on this rally course out in Portugal, I saw some rallying and flipping fast, 120 miles an hour around hairpin bends and everything. You're going straight into that. Well, that's not going to happen. In fact, if they said, right, okay, I just want you to drive round this rally track at 40 miles an hour, so 40 miles an hour seems fast to you, in a relaxed fashion. You wouldn't. You'd coming out of the cul-de-sac. There's no other cars. You're just on this rally track. You would be still driving like, oh. You'd be at the limit. You'd be at 100% of your capabilities. Now, if we're in Portugal, old Antonio, he's been zooming round that's what he does for a living. He goes around at 120 miles an hour. If they were like, look, you're being far too tense. You're being far too tense at your 40 miles an hour. Antonio, come and show him how to drive a rally car. You bob into the passenger seat. Antonio's driving, and Antonio normally goes round at his limit of 120, and he's attentive then, but he's only going at 40 now, and he's going, yeah, well, you see, what happens is when you get to these bends, you just want to pull on the handbrake about now, and you do that. And the thing is, you see, when we're going along these roads, just hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah, and he'd be relaxed, chatting away. He'd be working at 40% of his capacity, and you would have been 100% of your capacity. If you want to be like Antonio, you need to go way beyond driving at 40 miles an hour on your own around the rally track. Back to horses, it's the same. If you want to be riding around on a relaxed rein, you have to have the ability to canter, to trot, to transition, so that you can cope with what's going on. So this is my argument. Walking around the woods and the hills and dales in that relaxed fashion on the buckle, I believe, requires a huge skill set and experience of many, many hours in the saddle. And if you don't mind me saying so, we haven't finished yet. Because the dream is, or was, to walk through the woods and hills and dales on the buckle, super relaxed, super easy, confidently. We haven't even got to confidently yet. That's another set. So you need hours and hours of being relaxed and on the buckle in the dreamlike thing, you know, I've got the dreamlike thing. What does dreamlike thing mean? Come on, man, think of your words. The dream that you have of riding around on the buckle looking at the landscape, you've got to do that, but you'd be attentive even though you're relaxed, because you're aware that anything might happen, and the only way to get confident at something is to do it and repeat it. To get super confident at something is to not make that your 100%. So if you can canter in a relaxed fashion around the woods and the fields and the hills and the dales on the buckle going tra-la-la-la-la, then you'd be working at the skill level and the experience level to genuinely ride round the hills and dales and through the woods and up on the downs, and you genuinely be comfortable, totally relaxed, and walking about, enjoying the sunshine. That was the original dream. So here's the question. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? The question is, I believe that the dream of riding around super relaxed in a confident manner on the buckle, thoroughly enjoying yourself, is actually very advanced, and you need to be able to do all your transitions, maybe some little jumps, so that you're working below your capacity. I don't think I've got anything to add to that. I'm so looking forward to the comments. Let's start this discussion. And am I correct that many people believe that riding in such a fashion is actually an elementary level of riding horses? I don't think it is. I think it's extremely advanced, involving lots of skill. And I believe that people are then upset that they can't do this elementary thing. I do think that if I could show people that actually what you're asking for is very advanced, so there's absolutely no reason to be very upset that you can't do this thing. It takes a huge skill set. And I think that's what gets me most, is if you had the respect for your skills and yourself and your goals and what you want to do, if you paid yourself the respect that you deserve for what you want to do, you wouldn't believe that you are not capable of doing this thing. Because the fact is, it's really bloody difficult. I'm going to sign off now. I think that was a good one to sign off with. Yes, join the September intake of the Ultimate Rider Confidence course, and you will get these mental changes over a 3-month program. Study at home. I'll put the link round here. I'll also put the link to my book, my hypnosis sessions, my Karl's horsemanship training. You'll see it all, and they're all there to help you. So yeah. Let's leave it there. I'm really looking forward to the discussion. Don't let me down. Put your comments in. Thanks a lot. Catch you later.